Once the Lord and his disciples were on a boat. At that time, the Lord was asleep in the boat. Let's read this together. One day, Jesus got into a boat with his disciples. He said to them, "Let's cross over to the other side of the sea." So they set sail. Suddenly, a furious storm arose on the sea. The boat was nearly swamped by the waves. But Jesus was asleep indeed, sleeping on a cushion. So the disciples hurriedly woke him up, saying, "Lord, save us. We're going to drown." Then Jesus woke up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Be silent, be still." And the wind ceased. And there was great calm. Then he said to them, "O you of little faith, why are you so afraid?" The people were all amazed and said, "Who is this man, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Brothers and sisters, you may have seen before in some movie scenes of violent ocean storms, where huge ships sink into the sea, those kinds of adventure films. At that moment, the wind and waves were extremely fierce. Oh, waves! As seawater poured over from the raging sea. And then, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh it rose. Though just moments before, the sky had been clear. Suddenly, dark clouds covered the sky, and the sun disappeared from view. It was broad daylight. Yet it became as dark as night. The wind roared loudly. Then, the ship is about to sink right away. Many people were terrified. The sails on the ship had already been torn away. Yes, blown apart by the wind. And some people on board were even blown into the sea. Other things in the ship swayed wildly. And even some items were swept overboard by the mighty wind and waves. Many cried out, "Help! Help!" This scene might be one that brothers and sisters have seen in some TV shows or films. Suddenly, at that very moment, someone spoke up. "Waves and winds, stop now. Be calm, everyone." And instantly the storm completely ceased. Look, the sky, which had been pitch black, immediately cleared, and the sun appeared. The sea became profoundly calm. Suddenly, there really was someone on the boat, who had been sleeping in some corner of the vessel. Someone called out to him, "Teacher, teacher, we perishing. We're going to die." Then that teacher stood up and rebuked the wind and waves, and the storm stopped. If such a situation occurred, brothers and sisters, what kind of person would you say this man is? At that time, they themselves asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the sea obey his command." It truly is amazing. If we ourselves were crew members on that boat, and personally experienced this scene, what kind of person would we say Jesus is? He commands the wind and waves to stop, and the violent storm obeys him. What kind of person could this be? We must understand, this person is the Lord who created the wind and the waves. Brothers and sisters, do you believe? Yes, we must recognize that he is the Lord who made the wind and the waves. So the Lord rebuked his disciples at that time, and they were very afraid. The Lord said, "O ye of little faith, who does yells in believe in? Is your faith in the Lord small or not? Too small, this person with little faith. Why are you so afraid?" That is to say, the person with little trust said, "You have so little trust in me and in us. That's all you have to say about my letter? Don't you believe I am the one who creates wind and waves?" Something along those lines. Should we be people of little faith toward the Lord? No, we should be people of great faith. He who creates wind and waves creates life, even if we're blown away by the wind and waves. Even if we truly drown in the water, doesn't it still require the Lord's permission? Or say, if we fall into the water, whether we live or die, or even whether we fall into the water at all, is all predetermined. The Lord who creates wind and waves. Then we must be people of great faith. We shouldn't act as though we're being cautious, let alone show disbelief. Disbelief meaning, those who do not believe that Jesus is the one who creates the wind and the waves are people of unbelief and little faith, for Jesus is the creator of the wind and the waves. So this is what they call xiao oxen. Faith must truly be believed. Glory to the Father and the Lord. Amen.